Welcome to Mining Indaba 2023. My name is Julien Desrosiers from the IIF. I am joined here by the CEO of Newcore Gold. Maybe you want to introduce yourself, name, role, and obviously which company you're working for.
Yeah, Luke Alexander, President and CEO of Newcore Gold. Newcore, we've got a district-scale, advanced stage exploration project in Ghana, 1.4 million ounces, fundamentally underpinned by a robust PEA and big district-scale upside. Our view is that we've got a 3 to 5 million ounce potential here.
Well, that was already a lot of information. Normally I go in with question, commodities, location, but let's talk about the location. A little more detail about that, please.
Yeah, so our asset is located in Ghana. For those who don't know, Ghana is Africa's largest gold producer. It's the 6th largest gold producer. Globally produces about 5 million ounces per year. So it is a very good country to be operating in, and very politically safe, as well as lots of security in country. So a great place for us to be.
Well, this is a great place not only for security, but proven district. The best place to find a gold mine is next to another gold mine. So maybe you want to discuss about how you went to claim those, who are your neighbors, and what are the possible synergies in your region?
Yeah, so there's 2 prolific gold belts that are run through Ghana. You've got the Ashanti belt and then the Sefwi-Bibiani belt. We're on the Sefwi-Bibiani belt. To the north of us, you've got the Chirano mine. It's got an endowment of 5.5 million ounces and growing. To the north of that, Bibiani at historical 6.5 million and continuing to grow as they continue to explore there. And then you've got one of Newmont's 2 producing mines in country, the Ahafo mine, which sits at an endowment of 20 million ounces. So very large deposits along the Sefwi-Bibiani belt from us, and we've just scratched the surface in terms of our exploration to date. Our current 1.4 million ounce resource, to put it in perspective, sits within an average of 63 meters from the surface. You look at some of those other mines that I just highlighted, they're mining down at 800 meters below surface. They've drilled down to 1.1 to 1.2 kilometers. So we've just scratched the surface, but as we continue to aggressively explore on the project, our view is that there's a multi-million ounce potential here.
Well, this sounds obviously exciting. So if you think there's that potential, that you already maybe have grabbed sample on the ground, you conducted minimum exploration, maybe you can tell us a little more about that blue sky that's coming.
Yeah, so we have done systematic exploration across the project. So we've done airborne geophysics, grab samples, as you mentioned. We've done tens of kilometers of trenching, but obviously we've done a huge amount of drilling, which is the most important thing in terms of exploration. We completed a 90,000 meter drill program in 2022. That's the largest ever drill program on the project. So we're compiling a bunch of the data from that and looking to get it included in an updated resource. About 35,000 of that 90,000 meters will look to feed our updated resource. We were able to get some of that drilling into a resource, the 1.4 million ounce resource that I talked about. In terms of upside potential, we are drilling at the moment. We're testing some of these higher grade, deeper targets. But to put it in perspective, from an upside perspective, we've got 216 square kilometer land package. We've identified 25 targets across the project, of which we've only drilled on 9 of them, and made discoveries on all 9 of those, which are going to warrant significant follow-up drilling to grow that overall resource to the multi-million ounces we expect it to be.
Well, this sounds both exciting and both costly. So how much cash you have on hand, and what are you looking for? Any financing during the next year, or until when are you financed?
So we have $5 million on the balance sheet, so we're fully funded to cover all of the work that we've outlined. As I mentioned, updated resource. We're doing some drilling right now. We're also de-risking the project. We've got a baseline study that we're in the process of completing. That's one of the key elements that feeds a mining permit. We're also doing some bulk samples from a met perspective. That's to complement the historical work that we did, column test work that we did. So we're covered for all of those things and to get us through 2023.
Well, what I'm hearing of is that you're thinking a lot like near production asset, or putting it into a nice wrapping paper, getting ready, all licenses, all environmental studies being done, getting things done. When could someone think, if he were managing your project, what would be the horizon of first production?
So On the back of this resource update, we're expecting to have a number of ounces that sit within the indicated category. So that's one of the key things that then feeds, a PFS or a BFS study is having indicated ounces as opposed to inferred ounces. So once we've got a better idea of what that looks like and the additional drilling that would be required to move other ounces, then that's something we will look at. But one of the great things about our project is it has a huge amount of optionality. So yes, we are de-risking it towards production so that if someone wants to come along and buy us because they like the asset, then it's been fully de-risked for them. But we are focused on that district scale exploration. Again, we see multi-million ounce potential here. So we're continuing to grow those ounces, but if we can de-risk it at the same time for a relatively low cost, then we see that as a real value add for shareholders. So the optionality that our project has, because it is a heap leach project, is huge. Looking at those economics, it's $100 million of capex, which again, for a junior company of our size, that is something that we could develop. And with that, at an $1,850 gold price, you're looking at an after-tax NPV of $300 million. So you look at that NPV to capex ratio, and it's very attractive for investors. But we're not going to lose focus on that district scale potential that I keep talking about.
I think both are great numbers. Obviously, a lot of it coming that it's at surface, it is a low strip ratio, brings the cost very much down, and as you said, makes a realistic capex that is 100 million, not 2-3 billion, and obviously allows for you to scale up operation if needed in time by putting a smaller deposit while continuing exploring. So basically, you guys should be very busy within the next 5 years. Is that correct?
We've been very busy over the last 2 years, and yes, we expect to continue to be very busy over the next 5 years with all of the upside potential there is on the project.
Where it seems like a very exciting project. I invite everyone to go see Newcore Gold website. If they want to have any more information, I guess everything that is publicly available is on your website. And then if any investors are interested, want to invest more commitment, I guess they can reach you on the email that there is on your website. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always very keen to engage with existing investors and prospective investors. So we do put a lot of content out on the various social media platforms, whether it's LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. So lots of information there. But then yes, on our website, there's email addresses there. So please get in touch anytime if investors want more information.
It's always nice to see companies filling up their account, both Twitters or Instagram or whatever it is, to communicate more with shareholders, bring them more up to speed with what's happening. And I think that this is a great way to ensure that things are moving a long way, not just on the perspective of the company when it press release, but really having a visual idea of what's happening on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've on our website, you can actually go and visit our project. There's 360-degree images there. You can go into the various deposits, see the 3D models, and then obviously lots of information on the PEA that we put out. We've got a dedicated presentation that runs through those economics that I talked about in a lot of detail and really shows that fundamental of underpinning of value for the company, as well as the exploration upside. I think once investors really look at that exploration upside, they can see what we believe is a multi-million ounce project.
Well, one thing is sure, possible investors can really rely on the fact that you already have an economical project. Now, everything you get on top is the gravy, but this is where obviously you can separate the good projects from the best projects. So we wish you best of luck, Luca.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.